JT Fridays is live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to a special edition of JT Fridays Live at 4. I'm your host, Timothy Allen McDonald. Today's show features the creative team from iTheatrics, a brand new Zoomsical, the musical adventures of Flat Stanley online edition, plus cast members from the show. Also, Isabella Russo and Luca Padovan are waiting in our virtual green room, and they're going to reveal our next online musical in song. But before we unleash our musical mayhem and madness, it's pledge time. Please stand and repeat after me. I state your name. Just do it again. I state your name. Do hereby promise to defeat this pandemic through physical distancing, by keeping a positive attitude, and by helping others in need. Because I am an artist, and I will use my artistic superpowers to make this world a better place. So help me, Sondheim, 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 Sondheim. A couple updates. The Big 1-0 online edition has been licensed in Europe, in Australia, New Zealand, and all over the US through our friends at Music Theater International. We just completed our second PD session on how to Zoomsical for 137 people. We had folks who joined us from Ireland, all over the United States, Hawaii, Australia, and New Zealand. On June 1st, this coming Monday, we start our iTheatrics summer workshops online. Our June sessions are sold out, but we might be able to work you into our July sessions. So just drop an email to Gianna at itheatrics.com. Very vibrant V-chat. Who's first?
Please welcome the creative team for the musical adventures of Flat Stanley Online Edition, Gianna Odlin, Daniel Mertzleft, Lindsay Loopy, and Mr. Marty Johnson. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Welcome and well done again. You guys are 3 for 3. Marty, this is your third Zoomsical. Did you learn anything new on this one?
We actually, as a team, figured out how to have background music underscoring. If you notice in that opening number, Elisa was able to sing when we could have the chorus behind her as like the offstage voices. So that was really great. But I think the big thing is, it wasn't something that we learned, it's something that we just confirmed, is how talented these kids are and how resilient. Like, they are turning themselves on and off. And what you don't see is that some people got booted out of the room and had to be let back into the Zoom room during the show. All of that stuff's happening. And this, every time, they just boom, boom, boom can do it. So it just confirmed and made me feel safe for the world as a whole that these guys are going to be in charge of it very soon.
Yeah, and I think we're ready for that sooner than later under the current circumstances, but I'll move on. You four also led our How to Zoomsical professional development sessions, and all told, in the 2 sessions that you led, a total of 237 people participated in just the last 2 weeks. Lindsay, what was the response from these teachers to the sessions?
I mean, it was overwhelmingly positive, and it's funny because their main response, I think, was also my response to the session that I didn't expect to happen. Basically, that we're not alone, and that there are a lot of people all over the place that are actually interested in making the world better with musical theater and trying to keep their communities alive, and they're doing it, you know, any way they can and they want to learn. And that to me was very inspiring and made me feel very comforted, especially, you know, in this moment in time. Good people doing really good things. So it was a great takeaway.
And we ended those sessions with questions from the participants. Gianna, you fielded those questions. What were some of the questions that popped out or were reoccurring or interesting?
Well, a lot of them were just really great places to touch in with all of our wonderful theater community around the world. But the number one question that was asked, and I'm very excited to hear the answer from Mr. McDonald, is what are the next titles and when will they be released for this wonderful new format?
Well, thanks for the setup, Gianna. That felt completely natural. No, it is the biggest question we got. And Flat Stanley will be available through Music Theater International very soon. We just now have to collect the materials, the rights, and I need to meet with the rights owners who were at that live recording that we did, that you guys all just watched and loved the show. So that's exciting. And the next show that's going to be available, we're going to announce at the end of this broadcast. So Dan, you told all the teachers about being a Zoom manager. So what's your biggest advice to those who are getting ready to step into that role?
That is a great question. And I think it is, you have to take the time. And whether you're on Zoom, Google Classroom, Google Hangout, whatever platform you're doing it on, you have to take the time to understand it like the back of your hand. You need to know if a student has an issue, why they're having that issue, how can I address it? Do we have to stop it? Do we need to go back? Can I do that? Are we ready for rehearsal? Are we ready for performance? Is everyone in the room? Like figuring all that out, which just took Team iTheatrics hours of sitting in Zoom. And I know we all are on Zoom a lot, but are you really like managing the room? Do you know how to turn on chats to keep it safe? That's the biggest thing too that we talked a lot about, is how do we keep it safe within those rooms? So just spending that time before you are even in a room with students, making sure that you don't know how to do things, you know it like the back of your hand and you can do it in a millisecond.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you end up being a stage manager, a technician, an audio engineer, a video engineer, watching Marty direct, watching Gianna, you choreograph, watching Lindsay teach the music, and then seeing the kids perform it live when we record these, it's stressful. It is real theater. At least it feels like it. I have sweated through every shirt I've worn watching those performances, just like I do when we're at the 52nd Street Project. So it's real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like for a Zoom manager, my thing is, when we're live in Zoom and then it goes to one of the pre-recorded videos, there's like that little lag time that you're like, please start right after the line. Don't cut the line off, but you also don't want to be too late. Oh yeah, it's live theater still.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. There's nothing virtual about it.
Nope.
Well, thank you guys. You did a terrific job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, please welcome the future CEO of the Junior Theater Festival, Mr. Luca Padovan and Alyssa Osborne from Encore Theatrical Company.
Thank you, Tim. What an introduction. Hello, Elisa. How are you feeling?
Good. How are you, Luca?
You were so phenomenal in the show. Your voice is so beautiful and just like, it gives me chills. Like, it's so powerful. You're so ridiculously talented. How are you? Of course. Oh my gosh, you're incredible. How are you feeling about the performance now that it's all over?
I'm feeling absolutely ecstatic, and I'm so proud of this cast for everything that we've accomplished. And I feel so honored that I can make a huge impact on the impending musical theater world with this Zoomsical.
Yeah. You're part of musical theater history now, not just iTheatrics history. You're part of theater history. That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about performing an online musical? It's a little different than doing a musical in person. So what's the best thing about it?
Oh, there are so many things, but I think performing with my friends is definitely the best thing. I mean, you go to these iTheatrics academies in the summer and you're thinking, oh, wow, I love these people, but I'll never be able to see them again, especially in this pandemic. But getting to do the Zoomsical and seeing familiar faces like Lily Dahl and Carter Haney, who played Flat Stanley, it was absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool. So obviously, like I said before, doing an online musical is a little difficult. So did you learn any new skills while you were trying to learn the show?
Yes, I learned so many. I myself am technically challenged, and I definitely had issues with media up until the last dress rehearsal of Flat Stanley. But a good friend on the iTheatrics team, Daniel J. Mertzleft, helped me so much with my Zoom media issues, and we got it figured out.
That's awesome. We love Dan. Dan's my favorite. I mean, one of my favorites. I love everybody from iTheatrics, I promise. Do you have any advice for any kids that are now starting to do rehearsals for their own online musicals?
Yes, I would say throw yourself into these musicals. I think this is the future of what we're doing now that we're in a pandemic. And so learning as much as you can about the media is critically important. And I think it just gets your mind off of what's happening now. And yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So when I was a kid, I know Flat Stanley was really popular. Everybody was always reading the books. So when you were growing up, did you read the books, or did you do the Flat Stanley project where you send Stanley a little Flat Stanley to your friends through the mail?
Yes, I remember in first grade, we would make a little Flat Stanley cutout, and every single field trip we went on, we would bring it and take pictures. It was so cute.
That's awesome. I love that. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on such a phenomenal performance. You guys are so great.
Thank you.
Alrighty, over to you, Isabella.
Thanks, Luca. I'm here with Carter Haney from Kids Alive. Carter played the role of Stanley. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm really happy with how the show went.
Awesome. You guys did so well. Does performing an online musical feel anything like a live performance?
Yeah, definitely. We still had choreography and music rehearsals and props and costumes and all of that. And because we recorded it live, just like in-person theater, anything could go wrong. There's still that same adrenaline rush.
That's awesome. I can't imagine what it's like handling all that at once behind the scenes. That's really great. What's something that surprised you about performing an online show?
I really didn't think I would connect with the cast as much as I did. Going into it, I just didn't think there'd be time to talk or anything like that, just because this is a different work environment. But before and after, we're always on the group chat just talking, and I've made 14 new friends with the most talented kids I know. They're great.
That's great. What advice would you give to any of the kids out there watching who are going to perform a Zoomsical of their own?
Just have fun. The online edition concept is obviously different than in-person theater, but it's still special and unique, and I love it. Put the same amount of work that you put into your regular productions, and it'll be just a great experience.
Awesome. So I heard that you traveled to Europe with kids from all over the US to represent America at JTF Europe. What was that like?
It was life-changing for me. I had never been out of the country, so experiencing Europe with 23 of my closest friends was just awesome. We did once on this island at JTF there, and so obviously the material was challenging and fun and just the best. I'm just incredibly grateful for iTheatrics for that opportunity.
Great. Well, thank you so much. You did so well, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Handing it over to Tim.
So, Isabella, we thought we would announce our next Zoomsical musical theater style by having you and Luca each perform a song from the show. And so all of you who are watching and are on Facebook, if you can guess that show in X amount of notes, we'll send you a prize. We've each had. Or maybe, or something. I'm sure we'll do something. So, take it away, Isabella.
When Katie's good at math, she gets a big fat A that's tacked up on my family's Frigidaire. And at every music contest, Joe and Myra take the prize. On the freezer there are ribbons everywhere. And I'm proud to be their sister, but it really makes me blue that there isn't any prize for telling people what to do, except an invitation to Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, home of the world-famous Advice-a-Palooza Festival. That's where I'll finally belong. Up on the fridge is where I want to be, just like Katie and Myra and Joe. There's a white plastic magnet that's just the right size, where my new invitation can go. And then every morning I'll open the door, get some OJ or milk, and I'll see what I dreamed of and wished for and hoped for and prayed for, a prize that belongs to me. My parents are proud, but they don't understand. You can't hold a pat on the back in your hand. But up on the fridge, how I long for the day I can point to the door and say, gee, there's Katie and Myra and Myra and Myra and Joe and Katie and Joe and me.
Isabella, you have such a beautiful voice.
Thank you. It's a beautiful.
It's a beautiful song. It really is. I also realized I never sent you the dialogue for the underscoring.
It's okay.
Just living the dream, winning every day. That was terrific. Hey, we should bring Luca out. And and while we're doing that, Emma Bishop, all the way from New Zealand, was the first person to get it right. Which,
wow.
Yeah, Emma, all the way in New Zealand. Which also means there's really no reason, Luca, for you to perform a song, because we were going to do the whole reveal. So, hey, it was a great show, and see you guys all.
Already. Rip. This is
Also, you said on in front of the entire world that Dan is your favorite. I mean,
no, I know already that I probably got my CEO of iTheatrics revoked for that.
Yeah, you're definitely down to like secretary now or something. No. That sounds like I'm insulting secretaries. I'm not. Vice president. No. It's still yours to have. You and Isabella. You'll do a terrific job of co-chairing the JTF Worldwides. Anyway, enough of this banter. What you gonna sing for us, Luca?
I will be singing Edwina from Dear Edwina.
Take it away.
Dear Edwina, I've got girl problems. I carved her a heart in Dad's wood shop, but it came out like a blob. So I made a sign that said, please be mine, out of kernels of corn on the cob. Every night I take out my telescope and I wish on the asteroids that soar that someday I'll get noticed by the girl that I adore. And I know you think it's stupid, but I'm writing just the same to ask you what a boy should do when the whole world is shouting her name. Edwina, Edwina. As chairman of the chess club, I ask, won't you be my queen, dear Edwina, my dear Edwina, the most beautiful, marvelous, wonderful girl I've seen. Oh, Edwina, you, me, Dairy Queen, Edwina.
Yes.
Thank you.
Such a good job. Also, I should explain that Luca didn't just like dive or fall. He has to change his settings on his computer. he's done singing. Otherwise, sound gets really wacky here. That was terrific. Luca, you and Isabella you've been so generous with your time and your energy and your love to all of these kids and to all of our JTF family. Truly from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of all of them and myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I love doing this. I love you guys so much. Not just I promise. I love iTheatrics so much.
We know. And you know what? Dan is probably the coolest. It's fine. Give it up for Luca Padovan, everyone. Well, that's our show for today. As a reminder, if you're interested in a July Zoomsical, then write Gianna, please. And if you're really interested in being in a PD on how to Zoomsical, write Lindsay. We're currently not planning on doing anymore, but I suppose if we get enough interest, then we're going to help you out any way that we can for sure. This video will be live on our Facebook and also on our YouTube channel, so please share it with others. And the last thing I'm going to say is this has been very chaotic here in the United States, and I'm going to encourage all of you to do what you can to bring peace, calm, and compromise to this beautiful land of ours. And I'm going to ask you to continue to make the world a better place, not just one musical at a time, but any way that you can. Have a great night, you guys.
That's a wrap, everyone. Woohoo! Yeah!
Right up.